good morning, time to go. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for adventure. We are all
Welcome back to the 3x5 Life
podcast.
On this podcast, we talk about mindset, mindfulness, productivity, everything personal development. We are finally coming to you live from a little adventure down in Florida. We're spending some weeks here with the family, enjoying the sun.
Oh, enjoying the sun so much. Thawing out. You guys, usually I'm in my beanie hat and my jacket and freezing even indoors, but I'm in short sleeves and shorts and loving life.
Yeah, it's really awesome as a husband seeing your wife in a parka all day, every day, and indoors.
Oh, I'm sorry that it inconveniences you.
I'm just saying.
Maybe if you let me jack the heat up a little bit more.
So how many days do you think it takes for the average American to fall out of routine on their New Year's resolution?
I mean, this is hard because I know the answer. I'm going to go ahead and say 32 days.
Yes. So this week, this pod being released, we are in that week of 32 days.
When most people, they kind of throw it to the breeze or just lose track or get off course or maybe just need a reminder or a reset. I think the actual date is February 1st, that usually by that time, most people have fallen off the I'm, in this to win this self-development improvement train.
Exactly. That's when the gyms slow down. So all those regulars get excited because it's not as packed and they can get their equipment back.
Mm-hmm.
But considering this podcast or this product is all about habit change, personal development, we thought we would just kind of visit that. And because we all fall off the track a little bit, we all had goals. I would like to say Jessie hit all her habits.
I did
in
this
January.
month. January was a good month for me. This was the first time that I took Bryan's advice and really tracked my habits in a profound way. It seemed like it was going to be a lot because I had some 4 big ones that I wanted to hit every day and then some other ones in these different kind of buckets. And I had it someplace that I could see it every day. I put my check marks in there and I hit all of my goals. So this works. I can actually tell you that all the things that Bryan's been telling me. But I think for me, I've always been like a flowy person. So I'm not hard on myself when like my goals aren't met. Like I'm kind of like, if I get it done and we'll see where it goes. And that's always worked for me, but I was way more consistent. And I feel really good. I've been doing some like hot yoga classes and moving my body every day and making sure that I meditate and not skipping a meditation. And I feel it in my mind and my body. And so Bryan was right. So if you haven't started the habit tracking piece of trying to set goals and meet goals, I encourage you to think about a system or a methodology that works for you. Because I definitely saw some results this month and I'm hoping that February, I'm not going to be one of these people at day 32. I did my stuff this morning and I marked it down.
There we go. Yeah, and it's almost, I felt like it was like almost like a little dopamine hit for you, like a little reward when you check that box.
Yeah, it felt good for sure. I had it on the fridge, so it was like front and center.
Yes, I did.
Like it was like the project that you do at school and then you get like the gold star feeling.
Jessie got lots of stickers, a lot of smiley face stickers.
Did.
Yeah, so my report is I did pretty well, but I did miss a work goal, and I missed my target for core work. I missed 1 day of core.
Oh my gosh, what are you going to do?
I know.
That core definitely suffered.
Just being transparent.
So wherever you are, I mean, I think it's a good time too also to take stock of celebrating the wins and what went well, and maybe your goals, you were a little ambitious out of the gate and you realize that maybe something needed to be tweaked or recognize that if the consistency wasn't there, then looking at what you can do moving forward.
Yeah. And recognizing like growth is a zigzag. Mm-hmm. We have these bouts of growth, this big season, and then we have some time where we kind of step away from it, knowing that zigzag is going to come back. And also to recognize when it comes to your habits and your daily things, like if Jessie misses one, like just don't miss twice. Give yourself grace. Jessie loves using the word grace in so many aspects of life. And it's just like, give yourself grace, but don't miss twice. And
that's the part that's really tricky, right? Like as soon as you miss, like I'm trying to drink, I know this sounds really silly, but I'm trying to drink my athletic greens every single morning. And we've talked about this before, but I have a really like gag reflex. Like if things don't taste great, like I can't, like even with supplements and stuff, like I struggle. So it has been a process for me. And sometimes when I miss a day, I'm like, I get off track and I'm like, okay, well, I've already missed a day, so I might as well just like not do it again. But because I'm tracking it, it's more important than anything that day after you miss hitting one of your goals that you nail it the next day, because that like takes that momentum and just like brings it back. Because if you miss the second day, it becomes harder to do it the third day and you miss. So I realized like one day that I didn't move my body, it was motivating for me to wake up and do it first thing in the morning so that I knew I would get it done. So I love that idea of like, don't miss twice.
Yeah.
Like miss once, whatever, give yourself grace, but then make sure that you nail it the next day.
Yeah. And this is where also the daily review and weekly review comes into play. You know, at night when you're writing down your 3 wins and knowing when you accomplish and hit your goals, that just helps momentum. But then the weekly review, so many very, very successful people just preach the importance of the weekly review. And a big portion of the weekly review is what needs work. So you can reflect on Sunday or Friday, whenever you do it, on the previous week and be like, you know what? These 2 habits or these 2 goals I tried to achieve this week, they just didn't happen. That needs work, and give yourself grace. And going into next week, you're more cognizant and more likely, science will tell you, you're more likely to achieve those habits the following week if you take the time to reflect on the previous week.
That's something that you do, like Bryan does a really good job of too. Like he'll take his cards for the week and he lays them out and he has like a whole process and system to review. That's a growth edge for me. My personality is I don't look back. Like I'm always like forward facing, I feel like a lot. And so reflection and journaling and pausing, I do feel better when I look back and celebrate what I've done well. And then kind of like you said, like tweak, reflect on things that I can do for the following week to do better. It's a practice that is a practice, right? So it's not just going to come easy. It's something that you have to set time for. And so if you're having success with your goals, that a reflection is just as useful as if you're not having success with your goals, because then you can look at the why the behaviors are changing and why you're feeling so good. So love that.
Yeah. So that's really what we wanted to cover this week as we're looking at day 32. It starts now, starting again. We're in February. We want to keep that momentum going. Our goal on this podcast is to just impact 1 or 2 lives. And there might be a few people listening right now that fell off a little, or we're losing that little momentum. Like, hey, I made it through January. And then like, okay, wheels off. To give them a little nudge to keep going, because you're going to feel better and you're going to have better self-talk and better outcomes as the year goes on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
well said, Bryan.
Thanks. Until next week, guys. Hope you enjoyed.
Hope you guys can get some sunshine, because it does wonders
Some
for
vitamin D.
the soul.
All right.
Take care.
We are all